Hey, what's up? Welcome back. And before we start with today's topic, I encourage you to share in the comments whatever it is that is holding you back. Do you have a question? Do you have any kind of problems, issues? Of course, I don't know everything, but maybe there's an advice or tip I can give you in one of my next videos, or a topic that you would like to hear about, or maybe there's a community member that went a similar way and he can help you out. So just drop a comment, and yeah, I'm glad to read through all of them, and maybe there is something I can prepare for the next time and make content that is suitable for you and that really helps you. So you want to understand how to be truly happy, at least in theory. Everyone strives for being happiness. In fact, if we talk about what people want in their lives, you can bet that happiness is always going to be mentioned. Yet it seems such a hard and difficult topic to grasp. It's not tangible, it's not measurable, nothing you can really define. It is very subjective, different for everyone, which makes the pursuit for happiness so overwhelming and ultimately confusing and stressful. What if I would tell you that there's literally one thing, one perspective that you need to understand and that needs to be given to find true happiness, at least based on what I've learned, my progress, my journey, my experience. So to find true happiness means your happiness, the way you define happiness. For most people, and likely for you, they put happiness into the future. They connect happiness with a certain outcome or condition. If I make 100k a year, I will be happy. If I find my perfect partner, I will be happy. If I find my passion, I'm gonna be happy. If my friends would finally understand me, I would be happy. The greatest minds in the world preach to be present in the moment, to find happiness in the here and the now. I highly recommend reading the book A New Earth from Eckhart Tolle. This book has helped me tremendously and was one of the first self-improvement, self-discovery books. But I'm certain you will find many excellent books about being more mindful and present in the moment. But I will also explain a little bit more why that is so important, why probably a lot of you guys are not really able to apply this topic or this concept in your everyday life. So if these very knowledgeable and wise men and women teach us to be present in the moment, yet we keep tying our happiness with things and conditions happening in the future, something must be wrong. It seems like it is an impossible race, driving a car without fuel. How can you be happy in the present moment when you make your happiness dependent on outcomes in the future? So your if or when is in the future, and it's nothing more than an imagination, a thought, a dream, or wishful thinking. You might have heard the saying, what you resist will persist. So by constantly projecting your happiness into the future, you resist the present moment. You resist your current situation. It might be a shit situation that you're in, but by hoping for a better future, you're resisting the present moment, which will ultimately persist. Here's what we need to do no matter what circumstances we're in. The key to happiness, and yes, sometimes we're less happy given our situation, that's totally cool, is to find the meaning in everything that happens and take responsibility for it and devote ourselves to the situation. Responsibility and devotion, so important. You might wonder how I can find meaning if something very tragic happened. Let's say I have lost someone. I'm not saying to just move on and hustle and just continue as if nothing has happened. You can also devote yourself to 2 weeks of grieving to ultimately go through the pain and move on. What most do is they grieve for a couple of days, and you can mirror it on any kind of catastrophe or hardship that is going on in your life. So they go through it for a couple of days, but also don't really want to, accept the pain. And then they move on, they keep working and essentially distract themselves instead of fully accepting the grief and the pain. On purpose, I'm bringing up such an extreme example because I want to open your eyes that whatever the situation requires, you are in charge. You can fully devote yourself onto your situation. And luckily, I'm not in a situation that I've lost someone, but I've also experienced hardship and very tragic situations in my life as well. And most of you, hopefully, are not in such an extreme situation. You have not experienced such a tragedy. Some of you did, and there's where I think you need to find some meaning and also just really go into the pain and be fully okay with that. And when I say being fully okay with it, being okay that you're gonna feel like shit, that you cry, that you bring it up. We are wired in a way that we're being taught it's not okay to be weak. It's okay to, it's not okay to show yourself so vulnerable. That's absolutely bullshit. And if you don't do that, you're not devoting yourself. And without devotion, you won't find happiness in a very sustainable way. Again, I'm not in the position to say that it is easy for you to deal with your situation. This is something you need to judge for yourself. And this is not the message. That would be insane. However, we need to remain objective. I want for you to reach the highest level of happiness. That's what I'm trying to do here. And instead of putting everything into the future, be present now. Accept your situation. Find meaning in it and devote yourself to it, no matter what it is. Let me show you an example from my own history or from my own past. 4 to 5 years ago, when I was grinding a lot and it was all about winning, I had a hard time relaxing. I was very, very hard on myself when I was not performing or just following my routines. I was very picky and overly critical towards myself. I basically lived the paradigm of weakness is not an option. I of course suppressed a lot of negative emotions and feelings that I should have accepted, let them come to the surface and fully embrace them. I would feel weird if I would go to bed or take a day off. This sounds very strange, I know. I would think I can do more and I didn't do enough. I felt very miserable and was not happy at all, despite being a very successful poker player and making loads of money. And that was absolutely insane and of course not sustainable. I had money, I had freedom, I had great friends, but I was not happy. And I thought myself, when I'm more relaxed and calm and understanding towards myself, I'm gonna be happy. Because I thought, okay, this is gonna be happening in the future, but it's just not meant to be right now. So I kept pushing it into the future. I tried to fix myself and seek happiness in the future. Well, you can imagine how this turned out. Since I then started resisting it even more, I was like, okay, now it's not the time to be weak. Like, we're gonna be hustle, we're gonna be working hard. In the future, when you are more relaxed and calm, you're gonna be happy. So it got even worse, and despite having great years in poker and having all the freedom, I simply felt shit. I felt unfulfilled and I had no clue what is going on. I felt purposeless. And if this would have kept going, I would have burned out. 100%. Luckily, I discovered books like A New Earth from Eckhart Tolle and many others where I learned to embrace the moment and accept our weaknesses.
Allow this moment to be as it is. You suddenly experience something really surprising. You wake up.
I started realizing that it's okay to be competitive and also very hard on myself, that, you know, I'm just a person that is hard on myself. Who is saying that this is wrong? And listen, I'm not giving you a green light to not work on your issues or whatever is holding you back, because now Bencb says, oh, it's totally okay the way I am. I don't need to do anything. I can sit on the couch and eat chips. No, I encourage you to simply accept everything what it is as it is. Take full responsibility and take control of it, and then see what you can do about it. Only then you have a chance to manage it. I'm still very competitive today. I sometimes have a hard time to turn off my computer since I think I could do more work, but it definitely got less, and I have more control to be more present and recognize what is going on. It's just a different relationship. I haven't suppressed or ignored it. I have changed the relationship. That's very crucial. I'm not fixing anything. I'm not trying to optimize. I simply just try to change my perspective, see it clearly, and I said, okay, that's Bencb. And yeah, I'm able to see it clearly. And then sometimes internally, I would talk to myself, look, there's the over-competitive Bencb who needs to compensate something. It's all right. It's gonna go away. That takes out a lot of the energy that is holding me back and makes it so much easier for me to then work on the issue and dive deeper. Okay, where is it coming from? What can I do? What small routines or techniques I could potentially use to even ease it more? And I take full responsibility for it. But now it is a way more playful approach than it used to be. We are who we are, and there's a lot of strength and power in accepting it. If you're an angry person and you would like to change that, you won't change if you try to fix it at all costs. You're trying to suppress it, to ignore it, to not accept it. No, that's not me. We're going to do something else. Yeah, you might not see the results despite of applying countless techniques and reading books about it, which keeps you, making you more frustrated because you do all the work, but it's not really working out. And you always put it in the future. Yeah, if I read these books and apply these techniques, I'm going to be happy. Start seeing yourself as who you are. Recognize what is going on when your emotions are taking over, especially on the poker table. Be present, talk to yourself, accept the moment as it is, embrace it, and then you have a chance to change it. Sometimes it can disappear forever, but for the most part, there will always be leftovers, but in a very manageable way. And that is very important. It sounds simple, but it requires hard work, being mindful, meditating, journaling, mentally preparing and visualizing those moments. That's what I do for my poker sessions, that I really try to visualize myself just being in the moment, how I talk to myself, how I manage it. But the very first step is to recognize, and I believe that is the biggest step, being a little bit more accepting towards yourself, being more present and not seeking salvation in the future. Your unhappiness resides from your rejection against the present moment. That is such a strong message. This has changed my life. You're against what is right now, and therefore you're indirectly against life. Therefore you seek for salvation and happiness in the future, which just keeps making it worse. But you won't find happiness in the future. Never. You can only find it right here and right now.